Board of Regents versus Roth, pages 891 through 893. Citation is, the name of this case is Board of Regents versus Roth, Supreme Court of the United States, 1972. Facts of the case: David Roth was hired by Wisconsin State University, Oshkosh, for a fixed contract term of 1 year from 1968 to 1969. After his 1 year of employment, he was not rehired. He did not have tenure. According to Wisconsin law, the university president did everything correct. The university president gave no reason for Roth to not be hired again, and he didn't provide Roth an opportunity for a procedural process hearing. Written reasons for not rehiring and an opportunity for a hearing are only for employees with tenure. The facts continued. David Roth brought this action to federal district court, alleging that the decision not to rehire him infringed on his 14th Amendment rights in the following two ways. One, that the true reason for the decision was to punish him for certain statements critical of the university administration, therefore violating his right to freedom of speech. Two, he alleged that the failure to give him notice of any reason for non-retention and an opportunity for a hearing violated his right to procedural due process of law. Continued. Initially, the district court granted summary judgment for Roth on the procedural issue, ordering university officials to provide him with reasons and a hearing for not rehiring him. The Court of Appeals affirmed the partial summary judgment. So the issues of this course are the question. This court presents the question of whether Roth had a constitutional right to a statement of reasons and for a hearing on the reasons for why the university did not rehire him. The holdings: the Supreme Court decided that the university's decision not to rehire Roth did not infringe on his constitutional rights, and therefore due process was not required in this case. They also concluded that the summary judgment should not have been granted by the lower courts. The Supreme Court reversed and remanded the case to the lower courts. The legal rationale behind the Supreme Court decision: first, the requirements for due process apply only to the deprivation of the 14th Amendment's protection of liberty and property. So when considering liberty, the Supreme Court found if the university had declined to rehire him in a way that had damaged his good name, reputation, honor, or integrity, then the Supreme Court would have had to provide, then the university would have had to provide Roth with due process, but they did not. But they did none of those things, so the university did not have to provide due process. Also, if the way in which the university did not rehire him had limited his future employment opportunities, they would have had to provide due process. But they didn't damage his future employment opportunities, so they didn't have to provide the due process. When it comes to property, the contract of his employment was for only 1 year. Roth agreed to that contract. The university followed through with the contract, and in terms of property, owe him no explanation for why they did not rehire him. There's no mention of rehire in his contract. Therefore, he had no property interest sufficient to require university due process. Thanks for letting me share this with you.